So today I am doing my workout outdoors in beautiful Shoreditch Park here in Hackney, where our studio is here in East London, because our Prime Minister and Mayor decided to shut down this city and shut down this country on Tier 4 lockdown. And this was all based on faulty data from a Cambridge University study that was also done in collaboration with Public Health England that predicted 4,000 deaths per day coming in December. Those numbers have since been revised to now 1,000 deaths per day. And those bad statistics and bad data is why all of us are locked down in this country. And my gym, considered a non-essential facility, is not available. So I have to get creative, and I will do that. But my point is that apparently the Prime Minister was furious because he was given the wrong data. But the truth is, it would take someone in year 7 to look through the data and realize it was faulty. And when it turns out, when we dig even deeper, according to the Office of National Statistics, it seems week on week that COVID cases have dropped 12% nationally. So there's actually no need for a lockdown. We could reverse this right now if politicians weren't worried about saving face. And that's been the entire narrative for the past few months of this year, probably the past 6 months, is that the politicians don't want to admit that their decisions in April, May, June, July, August, September, October were wrong. So they go with the same narrative, they recycle it back to you and me. And when you look further at the data, 19 of the 32 boroughs here in London are reporting drops in COVID cases, and over 80 of the 149 national local authorities in the entire UK have reported drops in cases as well. And when you look at the total deaths today due to COVID, it's around 150. And while every death is a tragedy, that is significantly lower than the 4,000 projected, than the 1,000 that the same model projected for today. Again, what we see is this: a total lack of leadership, a disproportionate response to the virus. Everything is shut down in this country and COVID cases are dropping, and a total lack of science-based decision-making. And what is our Mayor of London doing? He is crusading for a lockdown and has been for weeks and weeks and weeks. He said all boroughs go together, even though those boroughs south of the river showed significantly lower cases necessary for lockdown. And yet he wants to roll it all into one, point the finger at the government next year, and ask for another multi-billion-dollar bailout to go with his TfL bailouts, his subsidized housing bailouts. He's going to throw his hands up and say, it wasn't my fault, it was the Tories, re-elect me. And guess what? You and me and the 9 million citizens of this city are going to pay for it. We're going to pay for it with our businesses going down the tubes, with our mental health being tested, with our lack of access to non-essential services like gyms, like museums, like bookstores where I can take my children, like libraries that are locked down. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And so politicians follow their own agendas with their vested interests and their one desire, which it seems to me is just to get reelected, because that's the only job they can get. It's frustrating to me. And that's why we need new ideas. We need to take London in a new direction. And we've got to get London back to work. Every single person that I meet on the streets, every single person I speak to on my show, from black cab drivers to hospitality venues, to the Theaters Trust, to tourism industries like London buses, they all say we need to get London back to work, and we don't understand why the government won't let us. It's time for our voices to be heard. It's time for Boris to step up today and announce he made a decision based on flawed data, and we need to reverse that decision and get London back to work. We can do it right now. And yet, there's a whole history of making poor decisions, and we're going to continue to make poor decisions. And that's what seems to be the narrative here in this country and many others around the world. It's frustrating, and we've got to make it stop. So let's take London in a new direction. Let's show some real leadership. Let's make a proportional response to the virus, and let's really start making science-based decision-making. Leave your comments below. Forward this video to someone who needs to know. I'm getting frustrated. I need the London Real Army to jump in here. Let's take London in a new direction. We got 6 months until the election. Let's show the world what a world-class city can look like, and let's make London, return to its greatness once again. Thank you very much.